Like journaling really helped me dive into that and solve that problem, be like, really slow things down.
Welcome back, everybody, to Be the Trader. Today, I have Master in 5 for you with David, aka Reverse Long, and we're going to be diving into journaling. David, how do you journal?
Man, journaling has been a big part of my trading since the beginning, man. So I got like several uh I journal actually. I used to do a lot of vlogging and journaling combined because like the way I
Mm,
see it is like the more you go in depth with every trade, like what are you doing that most traders are not doing? What are you doing to improve 1%? Or in fact, journaling in the beginning, you can improve like 5, 10% a day if you really dive into all your trades. So what am I journaling? I'm journaling my mindset into the trade, the psychology, how I was feeling, and then I try to dig in why I was feeling a certain way, um, what I need to work on, and if why I was feeling, for example, if you're feeling antsy because of you got bills due or something, or like you got to be honest with yourself. This journal is like for you, and it's like a diary, and like why are you feeling that way? What do you need to improve on your life to solve that? And
mm,
so that so you come into trading or coming into that setup, which you knew the stats, you knew the data, you knew everything ahead of time. You knew the odds were in your favor, but you botched it. Why did you botch it? Why did you oversize? Why did you undersize? Why did you cut the trade off too soon? Were you insecure? Are you worried about your bills coming up? Or, is that credit card payment in the back of your head? So did your ex-girlfriend call you a loser or something, and you want to
right.
prove her wrong, so I'm just using that example, I'm just messing around, but like, a lot of those things I know, like for me personally, like my family didn't want me to leave my career in architecture, so like everything I did was almost wrong, so like I was trying to early on trying to force things to prove wrong, so like journaling really helped me dive into that and solve that problem, be like, really slow things down and think about it, and then think about what is going to push your trading forward. So journaling was just really deep for me as far as that, not only about like the technical aspects of the trade.
Right.
I will go over that for sure, but a lot of it, the real part that like I take a lot of value from, even three years in the game, it's that deep dive into your psyche. It's like you and the journal, and like nobody else sees it. And like, I don't know, I use Trader Sync now, I use Kinfo, the journals. uh Even when I journal now, I up to recently I've been doing it as an Instagram live, like late
Yeah.
at night, like 2 3 people go into Instagram live, but it holds
Yeah.
me accountable, and I'm typing my thoughts out even if there's only one person there. It makes me do it because a lot of times I think we push off the journaling. We don't want to face the mirror.
Mm,
It's like you face the man. And I think when you sit yourself and you force yourself into that habit and you built that habit, it's like building going to the gym and just strengthening that muscle. I don't know, it was game changer for me. It's not rocket science. It's not like you need crazy data or systematic stuff to do this, or algos to journal. It's just you and the journal just figure out what's going on internally, how you can improve as a trader. It's deep, so.
I want to take this time to say thank you to our sponsor, Cobra Trading. Cobra Trading is the go-to broker for day traders and short sellers. And I'm not the only one saying this. In fact, Benzinga awarded Cobra Trading as the go-to broker for short selling. They have a heavy focus on direct market access order routing, so you have the fastest execution. They have some of the best low-K prices and availability. They also have amazing customer service. I've experienced many different brokers, and it's why I use them every single day and why I'm proud to have them as our sponsor. Sign up now by clicking the Be the Trader referral link below and earn 1 free month of software with Cobra and 25% off all commissions. Now let's get back to the show. Are
Yeah.
you journaling? It sounded like, because you mentioned that you're journaling how you're feeling before the market open, how you're feeling before you take the trade. Like, is that something you're typing in, or you're talking or
Yeah.
writing down before you even place the trade? Or you recapping the trade and then saying, okay, how did I feel before I took this trade today? Like, how are you? What's the process there?
All of that. So the way I saw it, so going into the market, I'm like, man, if I'm going to be taking these trades, especially like a couple years ago, I would be more in depth. If I'm going to be doing these trades, and even especially if I'm losing on some trades, I better get some lessons out of this.
Mm,
You know, because you're paying for these lessons. So the traders that lose or you take a loss, and you're not journaling that and figuring out, like zoning in, figuring out why that's happening with through journaling,
mm-hmm.
it's a missed out, your missed out opportunity. So yeah, I would the way I would want to document everything because I'm paying for this ultimately with my money, and I don't want to lose my money, my hard-earned money. So yeah, I would say, okay, how did I feel? Was I well rested? Was you know, did I get a good sleep? Was I over caffeinated? Why was I over caffeinated? I was over caffeinated because I was under rested. Why was I under rested? Because I went to the movies late last night. Why did I go? You know, so you're digging, finding out, just and just then coming up at the end. You know, it's almost, I would write really long. I would write like 800 words. You know, sometimes,
Yeah.
especially for the losses.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah, 100%.
yeah, you can even set yourself up like, okay, like 800 words for the losses, a paragraph minimum for the wins, especially in the beginning, because like sometimes you win by luck, and
Yep.
sometimes those wins, they should be losses. You just got lucky. So, you know, that's something that data doesn't track. Data only tracks your wins and your losses, and there's a lot of missed stuff in there because all the volume of trades or whatever that
Yep.
slips through the cracks, and you're not, you're missing out that those there was a lot of sloppy trades in there, you know. So um yeah, journaling everything. And then how do you feel at the end of the day? Because you know, even man, we're all human beings. Like even at the end of the day, like if you have a red day and you're still green on the week, um you still feel a lot differently a lot of times. A lot of traders do, especially in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
um you know, that red trade affects you. It's like a trauma, and you move on from it pretty quick. I think when you get experience, those red days become more normal. But you know, it feels like a trauma. It feels like a heavy loss. You're still relating it to real life. So that's when your journaling comes in. It's like, why are you relating the money to real life still, even though you're having a some success, or maybe not, or maybe you're not having some success. Like, why do you have, like, if you have 10 trade losses in a row, or
Yeah.
15, something is going on. You need to figure that out, you know. So it's not just the stats or whatever. It's something is going on. You're and it's some, you know, internally, it could be something internally. You got to figure that out. So I don't know. I think journaling, it's just, I'm really big, Alex, on like whatever you can control, or you know, or you can control your action of journaling, you know? So just sitting there and putting in the words, and you know, this game is about repetition a lot. So you do things over and over. Um, it's like an epiphany sometimes happens,
Yep.
sometimes, you know, hopefully. So I'm with that, you know, and just a lot of good traders do it. So I figured, okay, what if anything, this is what most traders are not doing, I need to be doing, you know, and
It,
all these, yeah.
it's funny you say that because I like what you said. You make it a habit and you make yourself do it every day, even though you already are consistent. You already found something that works for you. Because a lot of people are listening to this and they're probably skipping their journaling days when they're losing, right? Or when they overtrade. Like when they, I know I've done it. When I've overtraded a day, like I'll probably skip that day. But I think that's probably the most important day for you to journal. As you mentioned, like you want to write, you're paying for those lessons. And so when you're paying for those lessons, you're going to want to make sure you learn something for the money that you're putting in. So I really appreciate you saying that. And I think it's really important that a lot of people re-listen to this and understand that you're at the very beginning, you really focus throughout this whole conversation about the whole idea of how you feel, of how you felt before, during, and after, because you mentioned that doesn't get tracked during the data, like in the data entry. The data entry is a data entry. Like it's going to tell you if you have wins or losses, and that's it. And if your odds are high or low, but it's not going to tell you you influenced that trade, you jacked it up. And so I really appreciate you sharing that. Is there anything else that you want to highlight that maybe I maybe missed on?
Man, you know, you touched it up on it real well, you know, actually. So when you don't feel like doing it, you should probably do it. That's the general rule, I think.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Well, look, David, where can people find out more about you, bro?
Yeah, it's friendlybearpodcast.com, Friendly Bear Podcast on all the audio outlets, Friendly Bear Research or Friendly Bear Podcast on YouTube. You can search for it. A lot of cool stuff on there, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, David, thanks again, brother, and I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Alex.